Summer is a great time to prune your established stone fruit trees. Once you've picked all the fruit, of course. I actually really love pruning in summer because it keeps your trees really compact, making them easier to net, to harvest and to manage. Plus, with good pruning, you can increase the airflow to prevent any fungal diseases from moving in. Stone fruits are susceptible to fungal diseases like peach leaf curl, which spread during cool, wet weather, so pruning in summer reduces the chance of your tree becoming infected. There are a range of stone fruit trees and there are a range of methods of pruning them. So I'm going to show you just two today, starting here with my damson plum. The first thing is to gather some tools. I'm just using some secateurs in this plum tree because it's still very young. But for more established fruit trees, you'll probably need some loppers or a pruning saw. Regardless of the tools, make sure you sterilise them in between each tree that you're pruning to stop any potential disease being spread. I'm using a splash of methylated spirits and lots of water as my steriliser. Before you get snipping, make sure you step back and have a look at your tree and see what it's doing already. You want to be looking for any dead, diseased or damaged branches and remove them first. Then you can look at the structure. Here we're pruning to an open vase shape, which means we start with one central trunk and then from there we have between 3 and 5 branches that come off it with this nice open shape in the middle. Remove any inward growing branches and any suckers from the base to improve airflow and prevent congestion. When you're cutting off branches, make sure you cut them as close as you can to the branch they're coming off without hurting the collar. Now the collar is this swollen bit right up here. You don't want to touch that at all. So go up maybe a few mils up branch and you'll be right. With this little branch here, I'm actually going to prune it a further way up. That's because I want to give myself more options in the future. You see, I've got this branch here, which is currently coming out nicely, but it might get in the way in the future because there's a pretty tight space around here. So to give myself options, I'm going to start pruning this branch to eventually replace it, but it'll be higher up and it will be out of my way. So you can think years ahead and shape your tree accordingly. For this branch, I'm going to be looking at the nodes, which tell you where another branch could grow from. I'm going to choose this one here because it's pointing away from the middle of the tree and towards me. I'm going to cut just above it on an angle so you make sure any moisture and rain can shed. Plum trees fruit on second-year wood. That means when it comes to taking off the height, you don't want to take off too much, otherwise you won't get any fruit. So with this kind of length, I'm just going to take off around 20 to 30%. And there you go, that's it. We had a pretty small harvest this year, but next year it's going to be even bigger. And part of that is because of good pruning. And now for something a little bit different. This is my peach tree, which is only a few years old, but another stone fruit. However, unlike the plum tree, which fruits on second-year wood, the peach fruits on first-year wood. This means that when it comes to pruning, I can actually take off a fair bit of height to make sure it's always easy to access the fruit. First up, I'm going to remove the dead wood and some of the newer growth, which is compromising the fan structure. And like the plum tree, I'm always cutting on an angle to make sure no moisture can collect. When it comes to removing branches the size of your thumb or bigger, you're going to need a pruning saw. And just like your secateurs, you want to prune as close as you can to the collar without damaging it. The final step is to reduce the height of the tree. I usually go between 30 and 50% with my peach tree. It will just depend how much you need to do to make sure you can still access all that beautiful fruit at the top of the tree. If you want productive and healthy fruit trees, then pruning is for you. Make the time to get to know the different methods available to meet the different trees' needs, and you'll have abundant orchards for years to come.